So Khan is finally here, and it's time to purge heretics. Am I right? I've tested him on the PTS a little bit. Let's talk about the dude, what he can and cannot do, and how strong he really is. Khan is a tank. I'd say he's balancing in between of defense and offense tanks. If he needs to defend, he has a shield that has no cooldown and a fast firing hitscan weapon. That is pretty good for dismounting. He also has a shout that at base heals Khan and nearby teammates for 800 HP. We had a damage champ with a shield, we had a flank with heals, and now we have a healing tank. Seems legit. Also, that shout gives him invincibility for a brief period, so you can dodge all sorts of things if you time it right. As for his weapon, it's quite sick. According to my calculations, he has about 700 DPS at base, which is a lot for a frontline. And combined with a 4000 HP at base, it means that he can trade shots all day. Also, he has two control abilities. His commander's grab is a dash with a grab. If he grabs someone, he throws the target behind him. It can be used to throw enemies out of position, sort of like a hook, but you gotta be careful with that ability so you don't throw an enemy terminus on your friendly series. Also, Commander's Grab allows you to throw people off a cliff. The closer you are to the cliff, the less angle you need. So champions that can't counter that throw in any way will need to avoid fighting Khan near ledges. On the other hand, Khan stands in between a ledge and an enemy, which means that any significant push ability will throw him out of the window. Ashe, Shalin, Cassie, anything with a push. The ult feels pretty sick, but tanks need their ults to get a control over the objective, and most objective rooms don't have any hazard zone that you can throw them into. So the best use for it will be probably to save your backline from a pesky flanker, or to grab an enemy backline champ and throw him out of position. Now, a couple of words about his talents. Let's go from the worst one to the best one, at least as I feel about them right now. Lian's shield is easily the worst talent. I see no reason why would anyone play with it. As soon as enemies get wrecked, this talent will make no difference. Vortex grip can be very strong, but only if your team doesn't suck. However, if they do suck and they never focus stun targets, which probably is gonna happen most of the time, there is no point of running it. Storm of Bullets. According to my calculations, it rises the DPS from 700 to 1300. Maybe I messed up with my numbers, you can check the math yourself. Either way, this talent allows Khan to be a one-man army. He has a shield, he has heals, and with this talent he also has a real DPS gun. But the best and the cheesiest talent for him is Fire in Lane. After you use a shout, you buff your damage from 700 DPS to 830. And what's more important, gain CC immunity for 4 seconds. It also applies to your nearby teammates. Pretty sick. But it becomes especially cheesy when you get a loadout card that reduces shout's cooldown by 5 seconds, which is probably gonna get nerfed soon. And a Chronos 3. With that build, shout has only 8 seconds cooldown, while having 4 seconds uptime. 50% uptime. With that build, all sorts of crowd control based champions like Inara and Torvald, and maybe to some extent even almighty Makoa, won't be a big problem. He obviously has weaknesses as well. He does not have vertical mobility at all. Terminus, Inara and Rakes can easily outmaneuver Khan and get in more favorable positions. His horizontal mobility is not all that good as well, considering that his main control tool and his dash are the same ability. He has to be smart about when to use it. Fighting mobile champions like Maeve, Eevee, Cassie without using ult is pretty hard. Khan has a very little chase potential as well as a safe way to retreat. His shield, even though it doesn't have a cooldown and only has a resource, which is cool and can be used to block some explosion and then put the shield down and not have a cooldown on it, it still has a weakness. It's quite small. Fernando's shield, for example, Fernando's shield is huge, and that allows him to get much closer to multiple enemies without being surrounded. Khan can't really do that. His shield works best in 1v1 scenario. If enemies have a little bit of brain, they can easily surround Khan while he's using his shield. Overall, Khan feels strong. He will attract players that like slow and methodical gameplay where patience and ability to make reads are the most important. But players that like blaze through the place, rush B playstyle probably won't like him that much after the hype wears off. That's my 2 cents on Khan.